Sorry, miss. What did you say your name was? I asked as I walked back into the bedroom with 2 bottles of water that I had liberated from my travel bag, which I had yet to unpack, thank you very much. Dick. A muffled voice wafted through the big down comforter. Katrina Dick. I said, trying to sound as serious as possible. I was rewarded with those gorgeous blue eyes peering up at me from a section of the comforter that folded down very slowly. Her blonde hair was sticking up every direction except straight. On some, that might have looked awful. On her, it just looked sexy. If you must know, my last name is... And then her voice trailed off and her expression changed. Why were there tears brimming in her eyes? What the hell had I done? Sorry. She sniffed and waved me off as I made to take her in my arms. I scooted to the end of the bed. Almost. Actually, I scooted to the end of the bed and then kept going. That is how I ended up falling on my butt. And with that graceful act, the mood was officially dead. Oh, Billy, are you okay? Katrina scrambled out of the covers and crawled to the end of the bed to look down at me. She still had tears in her eyes, but now there was an expression of concern, which quickly evaporated and turned into a grin within about 10 seconds. Maybe less. Men are pigs, she huffed. Her eyes had tracked lower, and now I was covering my stuff with a pair of water bottles. Yep, see-through plastic. I am a genius. In my defense, I had not been aroused visibly until she came to the edge of the bed and I had her naked upper body just dangling, for lack of a better word, right above my head. And since it has been longer than I care to admit since I have seen a pair of breasts on a living woman, I think my biological reaction was perfectly natural and normal. The equation is simple. Teen boy plus boobies equals boner. Sorry, I apologized, although not very sincerely. Getting to my knees, I looked up to where she was now sitting at the head of the bed, hugging a pillow and looking like I had just run over her puppy. In my limited experience with girls, I knew one thing for certain. I don't know squat about women. I don't know what I said, but I didn't mean to ruin everything. It's not your fault, she said, with one more big hitch in her voice. She paused, and I could tell that she was trying to get herself back together, so I just stayed quiet. Finally, she resumed speaking. I just had not thought about it in a very long time. Still keeping my mouth shut. I was married before all of this, so my name was Katrina Duncan, but now... Her voice trailed off, and I risked opening my big fat mouth where I was sure that I had more than enough room for at least one of my feet. How about just Katrina? You could be all mysterious, like Madonna. I knew there were some other celebrities that went by a single name, but that was the only one of my mom's CDs that I could immediately picture. She smiled, and through her tears, that just made her all that much more beautiful. Not for the first time, I was wondering what the hell she saw in me. Here was a woman about 10 years older and cute. I had just reached the age where I would have been old enough to vote. Kinda heavy, I mean. I was an offensive lineman on the football team for crying out loud. What on earth could this woman see in me? You're so cute when you don't know what to do. Katrina laughed as she wiped her eyes. It is like there's this great, big neon sign over your head, flashing clueless in bright pink letters. Why pink? I muttered. Billy? Carol's voice called from outside the front door, saving me from whatever embarrassing answer she was about to give. Just a sec, I hollered as I searched for a pair of clean sweatpants in my field bag. I had to settle for the least dirty, since I had just gotten back and not had time to do any laundry. I opened the door to find Granny Rambo, as only I was allowed to call her, standing with a pair of men I didn't recognize. They were both armed and had serious expressions. I was about to ask what was up when they shoved her into my living room.